tender embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's eyes. Ooh, come save your child. Come save your child. I say, come sisters, come and take back your child. This great.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Women with Words. Today is actually our first Saturday show. It's going to be very interesting. I want to encourage you to invite somebody to just stay with us. Thank you for always following us, liking our page, and being here. Of course, my name is Glendy Juniors, and I'm here this Saturday with my beautiful co-host.
Hi, I'm Agatha Joseph, and we're missing one.
Yes, we're missing Auntie Beauty. Hopefully she'll be back next week. And we're also missing Mr. Technocrat, Mr. Patmore, but we're here. We're here today. The show is going to be very interesting. It's going to be different. It's our first Saturday show. Like we said, this platform is for you. It's for us. It's for everybody. And we are not going to allow a time zone to stop us from making sure we let somebody hear wonderful stories out there. Right. So our guest today, actually, it's a Liberian living outside of Liberia. She'll tell you all about where she is and what she's doing. But we want you to please invite somebody to the show today. It's going to be very interesting. And Agatha will tell us a little bit more about the show.
All right. So this show is going to be just a tad bit different, right? We have our guests, of course. Today, there's no giveaway. However, we will be back at our regular scheduled program, not this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving Day here in the States, but the following Thursday. And of course, we will highlight a Liberian-owned business as usual. We still got our Ask Auntie section, y'all. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and just trending topics on what's going on in Liberia. So back to you, Glendy. And of course, we got a special show tomorrow.
Yes!
Yes, we'll be talking to the living legend, Auntie Miata Family.
Yes, Auntie Miata will be here. She will be fresh off her Lifetime Achievement Awards win and the Providence Baptist Church Medallion winner of 2021. So, you know, Miata Family, she can talk.
Y'all don't want to miss that.
Don't miss it tomorrow. Auntie Miata will be here. So I want to welcome our guests. Our guest here today is Mrs. Nessie Bullock. Gould. Welcome, Nessie.
Welcome.
Hi. Pleasure to be here. And thanks so much for having this short and adjusting for me.
Of
I'm
course.
like 7 hours ahead. I know this isn't your regular show. So I appreciate that.
Yes. We want to be able to hear people everywhere. We're happy that we have you. We're happy that you could make the time. We're looking forward to talking with you. So not to keep anybody waiting, we want you to tell us a little bit about Nessie. Who does Nessie Golakai Gould? Let me make sure I put Mr. Gould name there. And he works hard, but make sure
I know, right?
Put some respect on it.
Yeah, I must. So tell us a little bit about Nessie and all that she's been involved in and done, just so our audience and ourselves can become acquainted with you. I like to bluff Agatha a little bit, a little bit. Is that Nessie and I was in Cathedral and also Cottonton. Of course, Agatha is our President Emeritus from the Cathedral Alumni Association. But
yes.
And so we're also
Agatha.
Yes, that is the Agatha.
The dynamic Agatha who did wonders for the Alumni Association.
Excellent. That is it. We're going to be interviewing her soon. We're going to be talking to her in my cathedral.
Oh, you're taking her from behind the mic.
Yes, we're gonna put her. It's coming up. She doesn't know yet, but she's on the schedule to be in the hot seat soon.
Oh, well, you've let that out of the bag.
Yes,
I know, right?
So, Nessie, tell us a little bit about you, and then we can go into other discussions.
Okay, a little bit about me. Sounds a bit like an interview question. So who's Nessie?
Who's Nessie? Yes.
Yes. So I'm Nessie. I am Liberian. I've had the wonderful experience of living all across Africa. As Glenda has said, I'm a product of Cathedral High School, but previous to that, I did go to J.J. Roberts United Methodist School. So I do have quite a number of friends who are foxes. Even though I didn't become a fox, I turned into a cat. And a proud cat at that.
Yes.
And then I went to Cotton University, pursuing a degree in economics, disrupted by the war. And I ended up in Togo initially. And then with some good friends, you know, people like Masna Creighton, Joseph Creighton, and the like were all there in those days. I crossed the border into Ghana and was accepted into the University of Ghana. So I did graduate from the University of Ghana with a combined major, because there you can do a combined major. You don't have a full major in any one thing, in economics and political science. My family had gone to Zimbabwe whilst I was at the University of Ghana. So once I finished, I joined them in Zimbabwe, and there I did a master's in rural and urban planning. And then I was fortunate to get a job with an international NGO there. So I worked there. My professional life started in Zimbabwe, and then I returned home in early 2005. And eventually started to work with the UN. So the majority of my professional life has been working with the UN, specifically the United Nations Development Program. I was working on what we call the governance sector, which means that a lot of those reforms that went on in the first 12 years post the war, I was involved in it one way or the other. As things go, I grew through the ranks, and in 2017, I was deployed to Gambia, and currently I'm deployed in South Africa as the deputy representative, which means I'm the deputy head of office. Nice. So I get to be responsible for the office, but I still have a boss that I report to. Right. Yeah, so that's me. I've been an avid reader when I was young. Somehow now with the introduction of Netflix, I've become a film buff. I love traveling, but I don't like airplanes. So that's
so how are you gonna do that?
Well, I manage. I'm a fearful flyer, but you know, once I get on the ground, I'm up for the whole experience. I particularly, you know, I like seeing new places. I love trying new foods. So each time I go to a new place, you know, I like to immerse myself in the local cuisine. And just see different places and things. So yes, as I said, I love books, but now I do a lot of binge watching on Netflix. I've always, and that's what I like, what you ladies are doing. Women's empowerment, it's something that's close to my heart. It fortunately, as the UN, it's something that we must do, but it hasn't been something that's been a focus of mine all the time. And lastly, I'm a history buff. I love history. And probably one day when I retire, I would probably want to, you know, go out there into the rural areas and learn the history of the Liberian tribes. We are the only country in West Africa that doesn't have a curated history. Like Ghana, they go back to the founding of the Ghana Empire. They go back several centuries into their history. Our history tends to start in 1822. And that's something I think that needs, and I see some people already are trying to do a lot about that, because I think that as a people, as a nation, you can't really move forward if you don't know where you're coming from and what are the experiences that define you. If you look at the Jewish people, they're such a powerful and cohesive nation, and I will use the word nation because of the values and culture that they share globally, because they have this history that goes back like 4,000 years, so it's something but people without a history, you don't have your core, and so a history is something that I like. So that's Nessie.
Yes, I want to highlight we'll get into it later on, but I want to highlight something that's very important. I mean, just listening to you working with UNDP and seeing that you are truly international. You went to Ghana, you went to Togo, to Zimbabwe, and now you're in Lesotho. That is amazing. So we'll talk a little bit later on about the different cultures you've been able to become accustomed to, and the food, the likes and dislikes. And we'll see that. But we want to hear a little bit about your family, because I see you all the time with your children, your husband. We want to make sure we reference Mr. Gould and the boys. And see how
the boys.
Tag along with mommy on this journey.
Yeah, so I have two boys and a husband. I've dragged them along with me. Well, Gambia, Lesotho, and very briefly in 2014, 2015, I did a stint in the headquarters for a couple of months. So they also joined me there and tasted the American school system for for almost a year at least there as well. So yes, that's it. How do they, how have they managed? So let me start with my husband. I think it hasn't been always an easy ride. He is an African, a Liberian husband, so there are certain expectations of the wife. And I think to get to where I am today, I had to work hard. And that meant that at some point in time, the office put a Wi-Fi in my home. Those were, at that time in Liberia, internet wasn't as it is now. So putting a Wi-Fi in my house, okay, everyone was happy. We could, get Wi-Fi, but it also meant that my work habits shifted. It was no longer going to work at 8 and coming home, say 6 or 7. I could come home at 5, but then I was working, up until 10. And I know it irritated him a lot of times. You come home, you expect, your wife to be there, and I'm deep into doing something else. The agreement with my children was, okay, Monday to Friday, I'm going to work, and the weekends are for us. And I kept that promise for quite a long time. And I recall there was a Saturday I had to do something, and then my younger boy, he looked at me and said, "But I thought you said Saturdays is our time." Right. I said, trying to defend myself, but it was a feeble attempt. And gradually it erodes. But I think what this position or haven't gone international. Yes, I work even crazier hours now. I think my work day is 10 to 12 hours, Monday to Friday, with some work on the weekends. But now I have the opportunity to say, okay, I will take this block of time, a week or 2 weeks. We'll go away as a family and we'll do something different. And I think that's something that we all look forward to, seeing different places and doing different things. And you know, those moments are, you know, they make up for a lot. And also they're older now. I don't think they would really want me in their business that much any longer. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about you traveling from place to place. No mom, no dad, no cousins, no relatives. I mean, maybe there may be some relatives as you have, but you say, I mean, let's start with Gambia. You're there with your children and your husband, and how were you able to meet up to everything?
In Gambia, my husband wasn't there, so he took me in, he settled me in, and then I went and got the kids once, you know, I left whilst the school year was still on, and then they joined me. The positive thing about Gambia is that it's not that far from Liberia. You can drive if you don't mind the rough roads. And a lot of so there's a big Liberian community there. Sarah, you know, Sarah,
yes, Sarah Bessel, yes.
Yes. So when I got to Gambia, she was there, and you know, she really was my landing board. I got there, she hosted me until I could find a place, and it was really, really an easing in. Plus the fact that there's a Liberian community there that that could become my surrogate family. Gambia is West Africa, so there are lots of similarities, of course, to Liberia, but it's also different in the sense that it's Sahelian. It's a little bit more dry. You know, not as rainy there. And it's also a majority Muslim country. So I guess the first thing adjustment was having to hear that call to prayer at 5 a.m. in the morning, and you know, quite loud. I know it happens in Liberia as the community has grown, but you know, in a Muslim-dominated country, it's quite prominent. You know, you can't escape it. In some neighborhoods in Liberia, you know, it's not as you know,
profound, yes.
It's not as profound. So that was an adjustment. The food is similar because the history of Gambia is sort of intertwined with that of Sierra Leone. So quite a segment of the Gambian population are of Sierra Leonean origins. They call them the Akus. You know, they have similar names to what you'll find in Liberia, the Collinses, the Williams, etc., etc. And then, of course, the other Gambians who are mainly Muslims, who would have, you know, more, they call them Madinkas, but it's Madingos and Fulas and a couple of other ethnic groups there. So the food is similar, but it's not quite the same. For example, what is it? Is it the palawa sauce? For example, they would cook it with okra, and they don't do dry fish, they do fresh fish. So you can't find dried fish there. You have to bring your dried fish with you when you're coming from Liberia. Eating the first couple of months, it was horrible. Unfortunately, a friend of mine decided to come and spend her 50th birthday in Gambia, and she stayed with me for quite a couple of weeks, and she's an excellent cook. So she took the time to train my maid. And after that, it was plain sailing. In fact, then the maid came to me and said, look, madam, your food also tastes different because you eat a lot of this dried fish and it gives the
Right.
food flavor. So please make sure each time you go, you bring enough
You
dry
bring
fish.
some dry fish.
Some dried fish and some of the other things that you eat there. So yeah, and Gambia also it's a tourist place. You have a lot of tourists coming from Europe, older men and women, unfortunately, coming for the young guys and the young girls.
Oh
So
dear.
it's quite a lively scene, nice restaurants and cafes and things on just a little tiny strip. And so between between October and May, it's the high season. And so the place is packed, it's lively, social life really, Liberian in our age group, we would say gigging.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Gambia, yes. So it was quite a nice experience. Seeing what a country with no resources was able to do just by
Right.
promoting tourism as a means of national revenue. Of course, building on the book roots, Kunta Kinte.
Yeah. Yeah.
His village is there in Gambia. So
Okay.
yes, that was Gambia.
So let's come back to where you are today, Lesotho. So tell us a little bit about Lesotho and what is it like there now? Schools, food compared to Liberia.
It's a completely different place. So the tropical zone in Africa, I guess, goes from Sierra Leone to somewhere around the Democratic Republic of Congo to Zambia. So you can find palm oil, you can find dried fish, that sort of things in that zone. When you get into Zambia and into Southern Africa, you have a completely different climatic zone, where you got safari and savanna and the rest of it. So the main food here is corn. They dry it and make sort of a maize meal, like cream of wheat. And they cook it sort of almost like fufu. But of course it has a different texture, and they eat it with stew and how do you call it? How we call that leaf that like potato grains?
Flour sauce.
No, not flour sauce. It's in the developed countries.
Is it crinkle?
No. I mean, you
Spinach.
have it a lot in spinach. Yes, with spinach, and have that with spinach. So that's the main, main meal here. It can be eaten almost every day with a few slight varieties here and there. Climatically here also, it's similar to Europe and America in that they have 4 seasons. So it's not like Liberia where you have a wet and a dry. Here you have winter, and especially here in Lesotho where it snows, particularly in the upper part, you have a clear winter. Then you go into spring. So now we're in summer, it's nice and hot. And then, towards May, you start getting into autumn and then winter by June. And temperatures get quite cold here. So the Liberian community is tiny. I'm only aware of 2 other Liberians, both of whom are doctors. They're married locally. But of course, there's a Liberian community in South Africa, particularly in Johannesburg. I've been to Johannesburg once, but most of the time I go to Bloemfontein, which is quite nearer to me here. It's an hour and a half drive, and I get everything I can get in Johannesburg there. So the difference here has been, of course, that onboarding has been a lot different. I don't have the surrogate support community I had in Gambia, where I found Liberians that could support. Yeah. So, but the good thing is my husband has decided to spend a lot more time here, so at least I have that support, which has been it's just been fantastic. And I've had to rely on others here. Now, I think that one of the differences I found here, first of all, the literacy rate here is about 80%. And it's one of the few countries in the world where the women are more educated and more literate than the men. So you have a literacy rate among women of about 90%, and then men is about 85%. So they are a bit more educated. But still, you still have the same issues you find in the rest of Africa. Yes, they do occupy a lot of technical positions, and you see them also in technical jobs like electricians, but you don't see them at the top, the president, the minister, I mean, in this case, the prime minister and the rest of it. But I've been fortunate. I prayed and God answered my prayer, and I got a very good maid. And this is what I saw as a difference between here and I guess West Africa in general. This is a young lady. She's not from a very fortunate family, but she's very smart, and she is in university.
Oh, good.
She's studying for her ACCA. Now she has decided that she will take a job as a maid to be able to pay her way through school. Now, most people, and let me speak about Liberia. Let me leave the rest of West Africa out of it. Most Liberians who are in
we're
getting feedback. Yeah.
No, you're frozen.
Expect that family.
We might want to come back.
Yes, should help them.
There we go. So we're talking to Nessie Golakai Gould, and she's having some technical difficulties. So hopefully, there you go. Much better. So she's
Can you
back.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
So I was saying, I respect that, the fact that they recognize the dignity in labor. It doesn't matter if you think you're a university graduate, if you need to start from this level and work your way up, they do that.
That's good. Unlike our people.
To a large extent. Of course, there are exceptions.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
So you're I heard you saying that there's only two Liberians where you are?
That you know
Liberians that you know of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Doctors. Both of them are doctors. One, Dr. Cooper, I haven't met him yet, but I've heard of him. He's older. And then one Dr. Dennis, also, he's also here. Both of them are married to Lesotho women.
Okay. So the children, how do they cope? I mean, I think the kids have been to 3 different schools now, or 4 different schools?
4 different schools, yes. I think my older son manages a lot better. He's very social. So he gets in there, he makes friends, and he will always say, "Oh, mom, this friend is coming. I need you to cook this. I need you to cook that, or can I go to that friend?" I think my younger son, not as much. He's the real Liberian one. I think he misses Liberia. He misses the family network that he had there. So yes, he's sort of managing it. Just had a talk with his school the other day, and they said, yes, he doesn't have has very good social skills, but he doesn't make deep friendships, because he says that, well, we'll be out of here in the next couple of years anyway, so why bother?
Wow.
So that's the sad part, of me taking them from place to place.
Nessie, what are the boys' ages?
The younger one is 11 and the older one is 13.
Okay. All right. So they're right at that age where they're starting to form bonds. Nice. Yes, so let's talk about, what does Nessie Golakai Gould do for fun in Lesotho?
If you're asking this question in Gambia, I would have an answer for you. But, I got here in the middle of COVID, And
Right.
COVID has only eased off in the last, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks that we've had the lockdown totally released. And Lesotho also, thumbs up for them. They're one of the countries that's really done well with vaccinations. I think here we're at 40%. The rest of Africa is like 15% and below. So yes, we're opening up. So
Oh, there we go again.
Yes.
Let's see if it's going to clear up in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hoping now that things have opened up and things will happen, you know,
Right.
can hit a bit more of the social scene. But Maseru is also a relatively small town. This is a country with a population of 2 million. And so Maseru is probably around 400,000, 500,000, or even less than that. So actually, when the Basotho people want to have fun, they go to South Africa.
Okay.
Okay.
South Africa is
Yeah.
the place to be.
South Africa is the place to be. And it's an
Okay.
hour and a half from here.
Right.
It's their relatives who are across the river.
Right.
So
Right.
they just cross, they go have fun. And being who and what I am, also have to be careful where I go. I can't go to the local shebeens, as they call them, which is where they do the roast meat and drink a lot of beer.
Okay.
That's not a place for people to be seen. But my husband doesn't have those constraints, so he's been better able to, you know, go out, make friends, meet people, because he
Right.
has the freedom of, you know, going certain places that, you know, I would be a lot more reluctant to go, because
Right.
you just never know.
That's true. That's
And then
true.
have my name in the papers.
No, we wouldn't want that.
Yes.
We wouldn't want that.
So for those of you watching us, I'll tell you there's a little technical glitch, but
Right.
we're back on. I guess the timer thing that we use is for Regal Entertainment Incorporated. And so for some reason, Regal felt that we didn't have copyrights to use it. So to Regal Entertainment, we want to say that we're just using it as a timer, but of course, all copyrights are yours. We own no copyrights to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But
Right.
it's been wonderful talking to Nessie, talking about the boys and the husband. We're extremely proud. So about you, I want to ask, you know, I'm the food person. Can you hear me, Nessie?
Yes, I can. Apologies to my internet sometimes drops here, and then it will come back after a minute or two. So sometimes it might be from my end.
So all of these places that you've been, Togo, Gambia, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, I'm going to talk about the food. Which of those country foods can you compare to our Liberian food?
None at all.
So Liberia is still number one?
We're still
Not at all. Number one. So I'll tell you a little, when I joke. And when I was coming here, I flew on a flight from Liberia with a South African lady. So, you know, from Monrovia to Accra to Addis. We spent the night in Addis, then South Africa. So of course we realized at some point, it was just, I think, my family and 2 other people that were, coming this. And so we got into a discussion. And guess what she told me? She said, I've been in Monrovia now. She works at the Royal Hotel in their spa, apparently.
Okay.
Said, I've been in Liberia for 2 years. I really love your food. Coming home, she was going home for an extended period. She said, I had to pack my pepper sauce. So I just want to warn you. I said, the food this side of the world is very bland.
Yeah.
So I hope you keep with your pepper sauce. I said, I'm just coming. I didn't want to come with, all my food. But next trip home, I will make sure I get myself sorted. So yes, I mean, even they recognize Definitely Liberian food is superb.
Of
I
course.
know, I know.
Of course.
So,
But of course, if you go to South Africa, what they have on us, of course, is that diversity of cuisine. You can get your Italian, your Mexican, you can get your high-end French restaurant if you want to. In that regard, South Africa, yes, you can taste the flavors of the world there.
yes,
Nice.
yeah. So when was the last time you all were home?
I was home in March of this year. I went to stock up on my Liberian food. Yes, I was home for just a week. So I try to go home once a year, every 12 to 18 months, as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And of course, the weather you talk about it being very different.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
But we've had a great time with you here this evening.
Yes.
This afternoon here and evening.
Oh, you mean the time is already out? I didn't
You
even
know, right?
feel the time.
Very informative, Nessie. Lots of good information.
Yes, very good information.
It's been lovely talking to you, ladies.
Yeah.
And thank you for thinking of me. I know I'm not a very active social person, but Glenda has always been one of my cheerleaders out there, always recognizing me, even though she's the real, transformer and mover and shaker. But it's good to have people like Glenda who, who remembers our old friends, and she's always there for us. So,
thank you, thank you,
and to you too, Agatha, for all the work you do.
Don't worry, we're gonna put our money in the hot seat soon. Just wait, I got it coming for
I'll make sure to be there that day. I'll see you.
Wanna hear all about how those can teach my people give a hard time.
I know, right?
So before we go, before we go to get to the end of the show, we're gonna skip the accent challenge thing. And probably do another time. But we also wanted to hear, is there a common slang in Lesotho that people use, like you go Liberia, they say, "What's up? How you doing?"
They greet you in their language. So so it's Opelajang. That's how are you? Okay. And then you're supposed to say some kind of jang. I don't quite get that.
Some kind of jang.
Okay, but for example, I think I know hello at least. Hello is Dumela. Mr. is Ntate. And madam is me, and if it's plural, then you say bo me, bo ntate. So if you go into a meeting, for example, if I could, like for you ladies, I would say dumalang bo me. So that's good day. And if it were guys, I would say dumela bo ntate. And if it's a mixed gang, I would say dumelang, because that's plural. Dumela is for single, dumelang bomele boentate.
Oh wow.
What is the language called? What is the language called?
Sesotho.
Okay.
Very
but all I know is that they speak so beautifully. It's just really beautiful to hear. The accent is amazing. It's so attractive.
I'm sure I'm butchering the language here, but
we wouldn't know any better.
We didn't know
any different.
Don't worry about
you never know who listened to this and will write an error. What was she saying?
Which is true. But we've had a good time, Nessie.
Yes.
I had fun. I had fun, definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna be ending soon. But just before we end, we just wanted to, if I wanted to quickly do our quick ad that we have.
Yes. But of course, we've spent all this time talking about good Liberian food. What better segue than to talk about our own African marketplace? Y'all, if you know me, you know I love Liberian food, right? And the African marketplace is just one of those Liberian owned companies that you really want to support. So this young lady is very innovative, and her food and seeds are out of this world. So if you're looking for authentic Liberian food and seasoning, you want to try the African marketplace. You can find her, of course, on Facebook under Tangi Banto. We're trying to get that website up and running, or you can WhatsApp her at 484-632-4503 to place your orders. Now, she just introduced the fufu, the cassava fufu. Y'all stop buying that stuff in that blue box.
Yes.
You need to check out the African marketplace. Fufu is authentic, and it doesn't smell the way you know the fufu smell at home. So please check it out. She has a special going on this holiday season, 30% off. So be sure to check Tangi out and make sure you tell her Women with Words sent you.
Yes. And I also wanted to, so before we forget and not leave the men out, yesterday was International Men's Day, men and boys. Please, we want no trouble from these men.
All the sons of Adam.
Yes. All the sons of Adam, the daughters of Eve have recognized you.
We recognize you.
Yes.
We thank you for all that you do.
Everything that you do, good or bad, we thank you.
Thumbs up to all the strong men out there who support.
There you go. Yes.
As you all know, we always say we are women with words. We don't have any, we're not experts. We have experiences, so we talk about it. I want to highlight this was history made yesterday. Kamala Harris was acting president for 85 minutes.
Yes. First woman.
Yes,
Black woman.
First Black woman president
in America.
Yes. For 85 minutes. So we want to make sure we recognize that. I don't care what you say, Black woman being president.
Yeah, of these United States, right? Of these United States, even if it's just for 85 minutes.
I was doing something at work, and then somebody sent me the text. Did you see? I said I left everything. I said, "What? I gotta be a part of this 85 minutes here." No joke, but Uncle Joe Biden, thank you for recognizing women. That was big for me.
Yes.
I also want to highlight, just because today's show is different, highlight also another woman won in Liberia representative. She's Mrs. Oh Jesus Christ! I already forgot the woman name. Finna. Miss Finna Lasana won in District 1 as a representative. So women were getting out there. What a man can do, what a man cannot do, a woman can do better.
Okay.
Definitely can do better. And the last thing we want to share is if you know about this artist, she's called MC Carol. She's a Liberian artist. She was actually the Liberian rapper of won the MTN Awards in 2020 Liberian artist. Her name, which is called MC Carol. She does freestyle. She's 25 years old. Some of the songs she has produced is "Don't Ask Me," "Money Color," and something else. I'm not gonna say the word, but the reason why I want to highlight her is because she is actually touring the United States right now in different concerts. So we just wanted to kind of highlight her. I don't know if we have time and want to do the ask enter question.
Sure, let's take that. It's a really simple one. Remember to send your questions to gsbc@gmail.com. Any questions, it could be about relationships, platonic or romantic. It could be about finances, caring for your elderly parents, raising children, whatever. So today's question is, would you take marriage advice from a divorcee? So we'll turn it over to our guest, Nessie. Would you take marriage advice from someone that's been divorced?
They've been married. They know the pitfalls. They know what went wrong. So they can definitely tell you In my
Right.
marriage, when I look back, I think I could have done it this way and that way. So yeah, every experience is worth some knowledge.
I like
Lessons
Absolutely.
that.
learned, we call it in the UN.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Glendy, how
Yes.
about you?
I think I like what she said. I mean, I'm a divorcee and I have a lot of knowledge. And
It,
You got
actually,
a lot of advice to
I have
give.
a lot to give. I was married for 29 years. So, of course,
Oh,
I think
wow.
it's, yes,
Wow.
29 years. So,
yeah,
of course, I think it's important to be able to not be negative, but to learn from the experiences and help others not go
absolutely.
that route yet. So, that would be my
Absolutely.
thing. Yes.
I agree with both you ladies. I've been married. This is my second marriage, 22 years. And my first marriage lasted 5 years. And, I did it right the second time. But if it wasn't for the first time, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So, absolutely, I will take advice from anyone, be them, in a happy marriage, a dysfunctional marriage, or a divorcee. It doesn't matter for me if you have good experience. Sometimes, like you said, it's simply what not to do.
Yes.
So, go in it with an open mind and don't look down on people because of decisions that they've made. I know personally that divorcing is an extremely difficult and courageous thing to do. I'm not encouraging it, but sometimes you find yourself in a situation where that is the best decision for you. So, no judgments here. But yeah,
Yes.
if you're getting that advice from a divorcee, hey, take advantage of it and learn what you can from it. All right,
Yes.
Glendy, I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna end here. We just want to highlight tomorrow. We also have, and Nessie, thank you so much for coming.
Yes,
Um,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you
We've
for
had a
having me.
wonderful time.
Yes.
We will be some parts of the video I want to say to our viewers who have not been able to have been blocked because of that, but we will definitely appeal
Yes.
this decision and see what we can do to remove whatever work that have created this problem and make sure we don't use it again. So that our
Lesson
viewers,
learned.
yes,
Lessons learned.
so
Yep.
that our
Yeah.
viewers get to see this show, because we've had an amazing woman
Yes.
with the experiences, and you're out there making us very proud. We're
Yes.
so
Yes.
proud of you. In the
Our own
highest of
Liberian woman.
in the highest ranks in United
Yes.
Nations. So we're proud of you, Nessie, to your family and your husband. Thank you, because
Thank
this is
you.
the thing. You're out there is not just you're representing, you
Right.
represent us. And
Yes.
you represented us well in so
Well.
many different countries.
Yes.
And so it was important for us to bring you on and highlight you today and say thank you for what you've done. We're proud of you.
Absolutely.
Now, tomorrow, we're going to have the icon, the most important woman. I think right about now, she is supposed to be receiving her awards.
Yes.
And I want to find, I also want to say, yes, we understand that
Glendy's so excited.
I am so excited
Yes.
for Miata Formula tomorrow. I just cannot
Yes.
wait. But I want to. The reason why I'm even more excited is that when we're being blocked for just using a timer, we have
Right.
an icon who was singing for more than 60 years, who gave us all copyright to her
Yes.
music.
Yes.
To her music.
A
So,
living legend.
yes, the living legend Miata Formula, after 60 years of singing, Liberia finally gets it right to say thank you. That's my excitement after 60 many years of singing. So
Yes.
tomorrow we will have the icon herself. Look at this woman here.
Yes.
Auntie Miata will be here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Now let me tell you, she actually wanted 9 a.m. I said, Auntie Miata ain't nowhere in the world.
We beg you, Oma.
We beg you. Nowhere in the world. She said, but 9 o'clock will be up. But 10 o'clock, I said, Auntie, we will get at 9 o'clock. Yeah. But we will be on at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I tell you, there are two people who are admired when they speak in the Queen's language. And that is one of the things I love about Miata Family. The pronunciations, the wordings, the way she speaks, I am just in awe of her. But we are so proud that we as children heard about this woman and that we can be adults to sit with her and even have an opportunity to talk to her is an amazing thing. So to the Liberian entertainment world who got it right this year, to honor Miata Family, we say thank you. We also want to acknowledge the Providence Baptist Church for also giving her the Medallion Awards. So tomorrow, Enter Miata will be here and we will be celebrating. On Women with Words, tomorrow is going to be Miata Family's Day. You think Miata, you share Miata, you talk Miata,
and
tomorrow.
You dance Miata. Yes.
Yes. So that's it tomorrow. We'll see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Agata, you have anything to say?
No, I just want to thank Nessie. So proud of you, sis. We are happy that you could join us. Our regards to the family.
It's my pleasure.
And please keep making us proud.
Yes.
We'll
keep
do my best.
It out there.
Yeah.
And you guys keep giving women words or a platform for us to share our words.
Of course, definitely. And tell Mr. Gould, we said thank you. We love hearing the children.
Yes.
So much. So folks, until next time, now I have copyright. We have copyrights in this music, so we will definitely play as we go off.
Play on.
Bye.
Bye.
So bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.